What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. We have been on quite the journey with Assassin's Creed Shadows from the jump years ago when I first heard about it being called Assassin's Creed Code Red. And then right around the time of BLM, we heard, yeah, it's going to be like a black dude in the Japanese Assassin's Creed, and everyone's like, what, like Black Samurai? Well, Afro Samurai? What are you talking about? No Japanese protagonists, and of course it was right around BLM, and now we find out that it was exactly the socio-political climate at the time. BLM, all cops are bad, defund the police, and the St. Jesus George Lionheart Floyd. He was 100% one, and they even made Yasuke look like him in some of the earlier concept art that's been changed. Not to mention the multiple discredited historians who said that Yasuke was 100% a black samurai, 100% samurai with a capital S. He wasn't. And there's only, now I've become an expert in doing stories. Let's find out there was only one journal of like 15 that had one like little portion of it that then could be interpreted more than one way. And there's a lot more. And if I brought up all the failings, we would be here for quite some time. But that brings us to, they've at least acknowledged some of them. Obviously, they delayed the game to February, at least, possibly longer. And now we're hearing that they're going to be doing substantial changes and that the people working on it think it's, well, I'll let them speak for yourself. So first, this was the executive producer talking about how he thinks people can change the world. I was going to cover this article, but this is one long article of him saying we're going to add a bunch of modern day ideology into the past, and then that'll get people to believe what we believe, more or less what his delusion was right there. But no, this is the fun one, is that the people working on Assassin's Creed right now internally think it's the worst thing they've ever seen. And nope, this isn't even hyperbole. It's actually what they said. So this is the same executive producer, Mark Alexis Cotier, this time doing a questions and answer portion. He said, and this terrifies me, by the way. I mean, I don't really have a lot of faith for the game anyway, but he says he revealed that many of the people working at Ubisoft on the Assassin's Creed franchise have no experience with the franchise. Oh boy. One of the things that I've noticed since the pandemic is we have a lot of juniors in our teams. Probably half the team that's building Assassin's Creed is building a game for the first time. Not even building a game in the Assassin's Creed, just building a game. It's their first project. So, okay. They don't know, he continued, even though they're playing the game right now and they think it's the worst thing they've ever seen. It's going to be good. We're going to get there. He has to think this. Holy hell. I've been there. I remember my first time on Assassin's Creed, like it was July and the game was shipping in October. And I was like, there's no way this thing ends up shipping. 91 Metric. Oh, okay, that is good. So I was wrong because it's not good until it is. There is such a difference. You were not working with half your team being newbies at the time, and not even just newbies to Assassin's Creed, newbies to games, period. And obviously go on to show that they decided to delay the game for significant reasons. Originally said that this was a reaction to Star Wars Outlaws, who barely made barely sold 1 million units. And still, so they're trying to retool that, and they were like, look, we cannot release this game the way it is. So they've delayed it until February. And of course, they did the thing where if you pre-ordered the game, you'll get that for free. If you, but okay, all right, fine. But then you go, well, what was so bad that they literally had to translate, that they literally had to stop to delay it and then work on it? And why did it cost 20 million? Because he says here on Assassin's Creed Shadows, you guys said you delayed the game. You keep saying it was feature ready. So if it was feature ready, that's what I want to know. If it was feature ready. So I'm curious, when you went through and looked back at the game, were you guys finding bugs? Looking back, were you glad you moved it? And I think you talked about an extra 20 million euros in development costs from doing this. How is that tracking? So let's see how he hides about the fact. This is a lot of like, oh yeah, Biden's fine. He's good. He's completely mentally healthy. He's the sharpest he's ever been. And then the next day they're like, we can't do it. He doesn't have it. He's not, we got to replace him. Oh, but he was fine yesterday. The game was feature ready yesterday. these bugs pop out at night overnight. Assassin's Creed Shadows, what we had said was that on the back of what we saw from Outlaws, it was ready, but it wasn't ready. So this just goes also to what Endymion and others have been saying. And then again, Tom Henderson claimed that changing some of Yasuke's story and how he's portrayed in the game, fixing architectural details, because of course many people complained there were Chinese architectural details, what should have been Japanese, and ensuring the game is historically grounded while fitting in. The big one, and I know Endymion talked about this, taking out the on-the-nose rap music every time Yasuke is on screen. The historical experts that were all discounted, disavowed basically, to one Sushihiro Smith or whatever, to talk about how gay history was so that we can have Yasuke go to the edge of a forest for a couple of gay missions. And of course, the underage Naoe, so she can have her scissoring missions. Gotta have that. It's what they do. It's what they do. And then again, yes, Endymion here, just confirming that it was the rap music and other dumb things. It's just on the nose and straight up racisms. And then confirming the fact that he had a bunch of dialogue that is essentially the equivalent of like down with white patriarchy and BLM and all that, because of course they do. Look, I know it's separate. This is Ubisoft and all that. But if you look at Dragon Age and the Veilguard, rather, that is just straight up modern day propaganda. So clearly it is within the realm of them to not even be careful with it and just, but maybe Ubisoft has caught it. Either way, internally, the devs working on it think it's the worst thing they've ever seen. And that just, on top of everything else, doesn't fill me with a bunch of confidence. Either way, you let me know what you think about all this. Be sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.